hang on a sec. So he didn't like knight h6, knight g8, I'm presuming.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like knight h6 and knight g8. In the final position, is it clear what the win is? I'm not so sure, but I think it has to do with playing rook b8, knight h6, and then advancing the king to threaten first a checkmate on b1. So there's no time for knight g8. But I do think that was self-inflicted. That was like, we kind of did that to ourselves a little bit, and that's why the draw occurred. But there was a win there. Even for me, I'm like, what was it? But it was there. It's quite difficult to see, though.
Eyes rolling in the back of our head trying to imagine the position. So apologies for grandmaster analysis in the head. Normally we try to avoid that, but that was, you could only play rook b8 when the white king was on the first rank to Amont's point because of the checkmate threat. But that was very tricky and a self-inflicted time pressure wound there from Vincent. Kind of a huge thing to snatch stalemate from the jaws of defeat if you're Wesley So. And by the way, speaking of Wesley So, he did prove the prophecy of MF true. He moved faster, and if you're in the chat, we have an emote now. You can use the MF emote just like that. The team turns it around. Move faster, Grandmaster. Move faster.
There you go. MF.
That is what MF has always stand for. I've never heard MF stand for anything else but move faster.
No. Chess.com did it first.
Okay, what is going on here? How?
I would happily sack that rook with rook takes h5, but it's, I think, I mean, rook takes h5 I would do. You can do this, and what, now rook takes h5? Interesting. Just to make sure you get rid of that piece.
Yeah. Well, it tells you how strong the compensation is for white, given that you're down the exchange, but completely better with these two pawns just crushing up the board.
Yep. Pawn to d5. This is looking really, really nice. And I actually agree with this. Trade the queens because you're probably winning here as white.
Yeah. White has two pawns for the exchange, and they are good-looking pawns, connected. Okay, the knight could have even come to e4 and moved them, but this, in fact, maybe you should have, because now the black rook is actually getting active. This is getting weird.
Yeah, I don't like allowing that. I actually thought king f1 was going to be played. This is a definite throw here. Even though white's down material, I definitely think this was white's game.
Yeah, white was in control. The computer said it, we said it. I think he went pawn grabbing when he should have focused on converting his two pawns, Amon, and that really came back to bite him.
Knight, threatening knight d4. Also the f pawn.
Yeah, but black can even just stack the knight now for the pawn, right? If you need to, you could. At some point here, you're queening the a pawn.
Yeah, there's nothing here. You can even take on c5. He's going to try knight d3 here and take, but king takes e4 is the issue. That knight is not going to be able to handle that pawn.
I think a2 also was just winning there, but either way, black is getting the job done. Wesley So needed a huge victory here in Bullet, and unless we see the craziest stalemate PogChamp style, he's going to get it done.
Yep, still playing here. I don't think that's